All right, guys, what's up? So I had the idea today to make a video about all the things you need to know in PoE, like not every single detail, but a lot of beginner stuff or even some intermediate, more experienced stuff that no one really talks about. Because I have a lot of friends who started playing the game, and I kind of assume like when you play the game for a while, you assume everyone knows everything, but there's a lot of newer players and returning players, and people don't know certain things that they should know that no one really talks about as much. So I thought I'd go over a bunch of those things, get you more used to the game, get you experience. So, some terms here and there, a lot of like the macros, the trait side, how to use it, external sites, loot filters, how to make currency, how to run your maps, set up your base, all that stuff. So stay tuned. I'll go through all that stuff. If you're a new player, experienced player, whatever it may be, you might learn a thing or two. So just keep watching. I plan to make a bunch more videos for PoE and start streaming. So if you like this type of content, make sure to subscribe and leave a like. All right, let's get into the video. Okay, so first up, the most important thing if you're playing on Trade League is the trade site. Now you can get here by just doing pathofexile.com/trade2 and you'll end up here. So GGG seems to not really give a fuck anymore. So they're not gonna like do an in-game trading hall or whatever. So this is the best we have. So it's pretty straightforward. Like it might seem a bit daunting at first, but I'm gonna try to do some basic stuff, some more advanced stuff to help you out, get your items faster and more efficiently. So normally if you want like a unique or something, you'd like type the name here. But if you're looking for a specific item, what I recommend doing is searching for the specific base type. So if you want like a wand, you do wand. So if you're a lower level and you're doing like leveling stuff, you could set your max level like down here. Say you're level 45, for example. You set 45 because a lot of stuff you might buy is going to be around 70 or 78 for later stuff in the game because people are farming endgame and the drops they get are going to be higher level. Also, really important for people who are like gearing specific types of gear, like index, strength, whatever it may be, you need to put like a maximum of 0 if you can't afford those stats. So if you have like 10 or 12 strength index and you're trying to get in gear, you don't want to like have anything here because this is going to give you a bunch of hybrid bases which you can't afford the attributes for. Okay, say for example you're a life-based build looking for a helmet with proper res and like some other stats like mana. What you do, you put a helmet here, non-unique of course, unless you want a unique, but if you just want rare, put like any non-unique. Then what you want to do is you can manipulate this to help you get better searches. So for example, if you want 2 res types, you can simply do count, then put like fire res, cold res, and lightning res. If you're wondering what I did there, I put like what the fuck is this called? Like a tilde. And then you can like type whatever you want. You can type like this. It takes a part of the word of both words and like searches for that. Because if not, if you type like this, it just gives you nothing. So anyways, you do this. You can put like minimum values. So it has to have at least this amount. And then you can put 2. So what this does is it gives you 2 of these mods, at least 2 of these mods. So you get like at least fire and cold or like fire and lightning or anything like that. You search. See, now this has 2. It has chaos res as well, which is just an added thing, but it has both things we asked for. So I usually use this for res. I can also do weighted sum, which is pretty nice. Instead of like putting yourself here, you put it here. So if you want like 60 res in total, so like between these 3, the res will total 60. I have 35 fire and 28 lightning, which totals 63. So that's another way of like doing this. I usually do count unless I'm looking for specific types of res. So this works too. Then you could do and, which just guarantees you have a certain mod. Then I do a minimum. I usually do a minimum. Like I never want less than 80 life on my helmet or like most gear pieces. So I do like 80. This is like 100. And we get these 2. So with the way the game is right now, you want rarity in most of your pieces. So do like 20 rarity or something basic. And you search. Now this is decent piece of gear actually for like 1x. Getting some res, some life, some rarity. Now I see a lot of people with some really, really awful fucking gear. And this would like be a big upgrade for you. Assuming you're like an invasion base or like even ES. Well, not ES because you're having life, but if you're in like an invasion base or something, this would be a decent piece for you. Any of these. This gives mana as well. So this was just like a really basic example of the tree. If you want like do other stuff. So for example, if you want like a wand, you do wand. You'd right now, Spark is a really good build. So cast speed, level of gems, maybe some mana. These are all like not necessarily mandatory, but like these are all pretty fucking good for Spark. Then you do like a count and at least get one of these. So spell damage, lightning damage. You want at least one of these. Now the values, I put no values here, but ideally this is what you want. You obviously put some specific values if you want good stuff. So for example, maybe like 15 cast speed. 4 is usually the baseline for like endgame, but like let's say 3 to make it cheap. Maybe like, I don't know, 80 mana and then research again. Now this brings us to our next topic where this scams a lot of people. They search for an item and the first thing they see is the Divine Orb. Now, maybe some of these items are worth Divine Orbs, but you're not trying to buy those right now. And this will turn a lot of newer players off. They think that they need Divine Orb for everything just to buy like shitty items. So what you need to do is go down here, say your buyout price to Exalts, and then search again. Now you see, we went from the first search being 1 fucking Divine to 10x. Now, I don't know how GGG's gotten away with this, why they haven't fixed the side, what's going on, but it's really annoying to see the Divines as the first thing. A lot of newer players are going to like fall victim to this, and it's not a good thing. One of the most important things in my mind is live searching. What this does is once whatever you're searching for fits the criteria, whenever something goes on trade, it'll pop up here. And we just got 1 pop. So the best thing to do is put in like very specific metrics in the search for an item, because a lot of things will be priced really expensive that you might want. So if you don't need it immediately, you can live search it and you'll usually get things for cheaper than they are in the market, which is called sniping. Next up, we have PoE2DB. This is a site for all your mod needs. Any item you have in your mind that you want to like search for, because there's no way of doing that in game. They completely fucked up the mods. Before, it used to show you tier 1 as the highest tier. So say an item could get like 150 life at max. That would be T1. Now T1 is the lowest mod. So there's no way of knowing what's the highest unless you go to this site or you just know. So there's a lot of stuff here. I don't know why. Everything with PoE is complicated, but it's really simple. Say for example, I don't know, I want like a wand. I'd go here, I'd go to one-handed weapons, I'd click wands, and here we go, wands. Just in case you don't know, a magic item can have 2 mods, 1 prefix, 1 suffix. Rares can have 6 mods, 3 prefixes, 3 suffixes. So you look for whatever mods you think would be good for your build. The prefixes, you pick 3 suffixes. That's how you know. Then you can click here and you can see the tiers of the mods. So for example, if you're searching for the best possible wand, you do spell damage and you search 105 to 119. You search like 105 as the base, but it can also roll hybrid spell damage, which gives you what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different types. So assuming you get at least 105 here and at least 45 here, that's 150 spell damage. So you can do that as your base and get a really nice wand. Then you can search whatever else you want over here and do this for all your items. Next up, we have what I consider to be a very important tool for newer players and experienced players alike. Some cool dudes were nice enough to make a price checking app, which you can download here. I'll leave a link in the description. So what this does is you can press Ctrl-Alt-D and you get this little overlay right here, and you can select the mods you want and it will search the base type with these mods, and then it shows you the price with these mods on this base type. And last but probably most importantly for our external stuff is a loot filter. Now Neversink is kind of known as the loot filter guy. He makes Filter Blade, which is a really good site for loot filters, where you can put in specific metrics and it gives you a filter custom to your design. But right now he's not finished coding that stuff yet, so he gave us a really basic one, which outlines some stuff, gives you a sound if you get a really good item, and gives you different colors. I'd highly recommend using this if you're a new player, experienced player, whatever. Now, this is a really basic one right now. Until we can make our own, I recommend getting maybe a stricter one, like a bit stricter than this. You can get those from like any YouTuber, any Twitch streamer, whatever it may be. I can also put one down in the description. I'm using Pub Guns right now. It's really good. I'm in endgame, so I need more of a strict one. All you need to do is press this button right here, download the filter, go into your game, options, here, press this button, then drag the filter into this folder. Then turn it on and you'll be good. Okay, time for the in-game stuff. I'm assuming you already know about Alva, but let's just do it real quick. She has a currency exchange. This is going to be really useful because you can do things on the fly. If you need, for example, some exalts, you can put exalts here, and you can press this, sell your divines, click both things, then place your order. This is where you get most stuff. If you need your boss stuff, you can get them here. If you need your currency stuff, you can get them up here. This is just overall super useful. Now, I recommend when you get to endgame and you get your hideout by doing your maps, you put your stuff in a easy to access way. So when I leave my maps, I immediately go here. I control click this guy so he identifies my items. I sell what I don't need. Then I go here and I dump all my stuff, all my garbage into this tab. Then I clean the stuff out later on. Also, a good idea is to set your tab to a decent value, nothing crazy. But what this does is if you put something expensive in this tab, you'll know because someone will spam you. I promise you. Speaking of stash tabs, let's quickly go over them. Assuming you bought your key, you'll have 300 points to spend. Don't be like my friends and like buy cosmetics instantly and wasting their points. The most important one I'd recommend is the currency stash tab. This is somewhere you can organize all your currency into a very compact design and it stores a lot. I would highly recommend getting this one first. Then you can get this one. This is basically 4 stash tabs in one, and it's also a premium tab. So you can sell your items, you can do whatever you want, and it's also super big. That is unfortunately not what she said. So that's 225 right there. What you can do next is you should have about 4 tabs, I think. You can upgrade like 3 of those with these points or 4 actually, and you'll be good. Okay, so you either watch the entire video to get to this point or you skipped. Either way, welcome. So currency. This is my current setup for my Atlas. You get these points by like progressing the main quest, this one, which should stay like complete 10 tier 1s, 10 tier 2s, 8 tier 5s or 6 or whatever. You do that, and every time you complete one, you'll get here. You get 2 points each time. My setup right now is mostly for quant, rarity, some other stuff for my waystones. This is a really good one. I recommend finding like one you like, copy someone's. I think mine's pretty efficient. If you're doing a different strat, you might want to follow someone else's, but this is mine right now. So first of all, how do you run your maps? So at the start, if you're in white maps, all you want to do is use an orb of transmutation and an orb of augmentation on your map. So you get it to magic. I wouldn't necessarily use a regal on white maps. Maybe if you have a lot, sure, but you don't need to. This should be good enough to get you waystone drop chances, to get your sustain up so you can drop more maps and like infinitely cycle. You can also buy some maps here from this guy. Oh, I lied for no reason. You can buy some maps here from this guy. Yep, finally, thank God. And this refreshes every time you level up. When you get to yellow maps, which are tier like 6 and above, I believe, you can start regling your maps so they become rare. So you have a higher chance of dropping more waystones and you can continue to sustain. But when you get to red maps, which are tier 11 and above, using alchemies might be a bit better. It's up to you. If you have an excess, go ahead. If not, it's fine just still doing this strat. Now, let's say you're in endgame. You've gotten to tier 15s. You've done all the early requests. You want to juice. What do? I highly recommend using an orb of alchemy. But we go here. We use an orb of alchemy on our white map. We make it rare. We get some mod. This is dog shit, but assuming it was good, we run it. If you corrupt a tier 15, it has like a 1 in 6 chance, I believe, of becoming a tier 16, which is pretty important for some other stuff, but sometimes it's better to just buy the tier 16s than like RNGing your way there. And this went down. Okay, anyways, so you have your maps ready to run. So I recommend running your maps and finding an area with as much towers as possible. Then when you get to the towers, don't put your tablets in yet. Just in case you don't know, your tablets give you like different effects on some of these maps, and you get pretty good benefits from them. You can also make your tablets magic, which has a chance to give them some good mods. All right, this isn't completely dog shit, but it's just for an example. I recommend finding an area with a bunch of towers. Then after you've done all the towers, you can put the tablets in one by one and have a big explosion of just different mods. Almost everything around me has a breach, which is the best mechanic right now. And that gives us a lot of loot. So we have a lot of stuff we can run, and they all have some like pretty good mods on them. Okay, that's a lie. These ones are some pretty shit stuff. But ideally, you go somewhere with like a lot of towers and you get some pretty good mods like this one. All right, now you've gotten to endgame, you're running your maps. How do you make a lot of money? You need to invest in a currency strat. You can make money by just running any map, but if you want to make decent money, you need to like pick an avenue and stick to it. Currently, I'm doing Breach, which I think is the best currency making strat from doing maps right now. Ritual is also an option, but this takes a decent amount of RNG and a lot of money. To get these points, you need to do the respective boss for each mechanic. So when you do the breaches, you get spinners. So when you do breaches, you get spinners, and 300 of these turn into a breach stone, which is basically a key for a boss that gives you atlas points and some items. Basically guaranteed unique each time, but the unique changes in value. Now, is the unique valuable? Probably not, but sometimes they are. I don't think any of the breach ones are good, but you need to do it to get the points. What you're gonna do is scroll all the way up here somewhere because there's no fucking search bar or like go home button. So give me a second. GGG, please. Okay, here. You go all the way to your home and you go here. You put whatever key you're trying to do in here and it'll open the zone. Once you complete the boss, he'll drop a book. You use that book to get 2 points. I recommend getting this one first, so you have a chance for more breaches. Then when you get another breach stone, you can do the boss on difficulty 1, which is a bit harder version. He'll get some more HP, some more mechanics, and you kill him again, and you get another skill book and 2 more skill points. Then you just do that 4 times until you get all 4 skill points. You do that for each of these. This one is an audience with the king, which is a bit harder, I think. Unless you have Chaos Res, then it's free, but that's much more expensive. This is like 5 divines per big node because an audience with the king is very expensive. So now you've done all your atlas points, you've done this stuff, you've decided you want to do a currency strat. What do you do next? Now you can juice your maps, you can do some more investment in them, but what do you do? Now, if you're doing breach and you do it properly, you'll make a lot of currency, like just raw currency, but you'll also get a bunch of other stuff you can sell. Now, all this stuff is like dog shit right now because the market's so oversaturated, but you know, assuming it's not, this would get you a lot of money. These are like 1 div for the breach stone, and this doesn't take you very long. I get like maybe 30 or 40 spinners per map. You also get a bunch of items you can sell. It's also up to you to know how to price them. You can use the price checking tool, see if your items are good. I put a bunch of random stuff in like a bunch of random tabs that I don't think will sell most times, but they always do. Like I don't sell things under 7x anymore. And I need to get rid of this tab because I don't really want to sell stuff for 7x. Like maybe 10 or 20 is my limit. If you have like a tab for like 7x and it's not selling, you can always lower the price and see if it sells there. If you're like a broke boy, that's up to you. So we went over a lot today. I thought this was a good video to make because a lot of people are new or returning and they just don't know a lot of stuff. I plan to make a lot more videos, more in-depth videos, some really good ways to make currency. I think you guys will like it. I'm kind of broke right now. I only have like 11 div, but I invested in my character a lot and I kind of wasted like 30 div. I don't want to talk about it. But anyways, So if you like this video, you want to see more, please subscribe. I'll be making a lot more videos. I'm gonna try to start streaming too. So watch out for that. You can follow my Twitch down below. If you have any comments, any questions, any feedback, just leave a comment down below. You can also message me in game if you want. Sasuke, like Sasuke Aizen, peak character, whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.